Greetings, sentient beings. This broadcast is not intended for children. There will be strong language and adult themes.
I'm sure there'll be plenty of strong language today. There is.
I still have no idea.
Well, we're live now, so you know.
Oh, okay.
And we got Greg Hartwick in the and TV Tube Me. It's posted. Here we are.
I keep going.
See what's happening. Are we boned?
Yeah, we're boned.
Oh, I'm still black.
Hello, Demon Orb. Oh, and here's one more for it.
Droomp.
Oh, please don't make me watch this shit.
So this is how liberty dies. With thunderous applause.
You thought it was something else, didn't you?
I don't know.
Scary how that meshed together so well. Not getting that echo on you again, Ned.
Yeah. Oh, and again?
Yeah.
I have no speakers on. Nothing. But wait a minute.
Testing.
Well, PCs like to just echo all the time because they're completely empty.
Like my brain. Perhaps because I have opened another browser window that I have to mute. It doesn't work. Okay. I don't know anything now.
Yeah, don't worry about it too much.
Nothing works.
Nothing works and we're all screwed, so that sounds pretty accurate for today.
Must be. It wasn't.
How are you holding up there, Jenny?
I'm not.
Understand that.
I'll tell you what, if you don't see or hear from me for like a week or so, call my landlord and tell him you know why the room stinks so bad.
Well, don't do it. I've got some more anime to show you tomorrow.
So.
Yes.
Now I have a YouTube screen on. I have the sound off of the YouTube screen.
You're good.
And okay, and I'm still black.
Yes, you're still black. Must be all that mud.
Yeah, must be.
There are no words. Yeah, understand that feeling.
Yeah. Yeah, well, you don't want to see me anyway.
Well, a good recommendation would be to avoid trying to get into altercations on social media. I mean, right now, the more aggressive right-wingers are just going to want to rub it in your face.
Oh, yeah, but I don't care. I'm Dutch. I'm far away from that, but still, I laid awake the whole night because it bothers me so much, this Trump. I have Ivy calling him dumb, bald Drumpf because he's dumb, he's bald under this ridiculous comb over, and he's a Drumpf. That is a word I made up for everything nasty, dumb, stupid, idiotic in existence. So. Dumb, bald Drumpf.
I'd like to say I have some good news I can present today, but I don't.
I heard some things on Twitter that that would be almost too crazy to think of. But if what's the correct word? Is Biden steps down, he makes automatically Kamala Harris will become president, and she can refute Trump's victory, and she would be totally immune for that because Supreme Court said it.
Except we're the good guys, and we don't do that kind of shit.
Yeah,
that's for
that's
them.
it. That's it.
The other thing that pissed me off.
Yeah.
This right here. They got a majority vote saying yes, but it still wasn't good enough because they had to have at least 60% since it was an amendment. So even though it got, even though most people who said yes, we want this, it still wasn't enough for both of them.
No.
I don't believe any of the numbers coming out of any of the election centers anywhere. I just don't. I just don't. I'm not going to try to scream conspiracy theories or somebody's cheating. I just don't believe any fucking thing I'm seeing anymore. I just cannot believe this. There were less votes in this election than there were for the 2020. Now, why was it that all the lines everywhere for days were extensively long, like no one has ever seen before? Okay. How is it that a candidate who can easily fill a 75,000 seat arena every time she goes out end up with fewer votes than a goddamn fucking felon? It's just, it's too much unreality for this, for me to accept that it's real. I just can't, and I don't want to be here anymore. Nothing we can do changes anything. And I'm not even.
You know what I think? I think it is the fault of the Democrats themselves. They think, they see, oh, Kamala is doing so good. Kamala is doing so good. We don't need her to vote for her because she's doing so good. That always happens. And then the people start voting because they think, we have one already. And that is what's happening. Well, the first thing I did this afternoon was block Elon Musk on Twitter. Because I'm sick and tired of seeing that face. And always on top, everything before I can come to the normal post, always I see everything of that Elon Musk shit. I cannot believe that someone who is CEO of a space exploration company can be this stupid. But then I think,
Why? How can you call him stupid? He's getting everything he wants.
No. He is stupid. The only thing he is smart about is hiring smart people.
He's getting everything he wants out of this election.
Yeah, of course.
He is not a stupid person. He's an evil person. He's a careless person. He's an insensitive, uncaring son of a bitch.
If you just watch his comments in Twitter, his comments are more stupid than anyone from MAGA I have ever seen. If you don't see the picture on top of it that it's Elon Musk, you think, what kind of moron is this?
A very, very, very rich moron.
Yeah, morons with morons with money. They're the most dangerous ones.
Exactly, Ember. I still hear people. I made the tours this morning, and just all the different social medias and hearing what people are saying and listening. And I didn't say a damn word. And everybody's talking about, oh well, that this can't happen and that can't happen because of this law and that amendment and this group will protest and blah 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 blah. And not one of them realizes, fuck, you're dealing with a dictatorship. Show me the rules a dictatorship follows.
The only thing that counts for them is the Second Amendment. The Second Amendment, that's law.
And even nicer looking like he's going to have both the House and Senate on his side.
Yeah.
They have everything. They can do anything they want. We are absolutely fucked.
Yep.
J.D. Vance will be pulling invoking Amendment 25 shortly after either this election or right after the coronation. And then it's all over because he is pure Nazi. He's in the pocket of Heritage Foundation's buddy, Peter Thiel.
So who's going into the
chance. Please don't interrupt me. We don't stand a chance in hell in coming out of this without millions of deaths. Millions. It's going to be exactly like World War II.
So who's going into the camps where they go to concentrate?
I can't believe that this has happened again. That people already saw what a Trump administration looked like. When there was something to hold him back. And just that, the Republicans have been handed, all three branches of the government. So, we can't think that Congress is going to stop Trump from doing anything.
Of course not. Anyway, it's the Supreme Court.
Yeah, so, laws and your rights mean nothing anymore.
Move the mic a little bit away. Is that okay? I can't hear myself.
Yeah. You sound fine to me.
Okay.
But
Tsunami says, "Oh, is that Ned? Ned is like a long told fable to me. I never met him. Lol."
Ned is Ivy's imaginary friend.
Yeah, something like that. But now Ivy has nothing to say because I'm now talking. Normally, when I'm in a stream, she's always yelling in my ear, "Say something, damn it!"
Yeah, I'm terrified because there isn't anything to hold them back. We've seen Project 2025, and there's nothing to put them in check. There's nothing to stop them from passing all of that.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, if that is the case, and it was just be J.D. Vance as president.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've been saying for a long time that.
And he will become president.
Yeah.
Because I think Trump will die. Because have a look at him. He can't even get into a garbage truck. He can't even walk normally. I think this guy is dying.
I don't think it matters whether or not he dies.
I can't walk normally, and I could probably not get into a garbage truck either. And I'm not about to die. So
yeah, but When you hear him say, he is
Here.
in perfect shape. He says, he's like a god. He describes him as perfectly healthy, but he gives other signals to it.
I don't think it matters, whether
No.
or not he's going to die. I
Oh,
think
yeah.
that once he's sworn in, he will have outlived his usefulness to the party, and they will find some way to get rid of him, and they're going to make Vance president.
Yeah, and Vance is worse.
Well, if any of you want to come in here and get some ranting out of your system, go right ahead.
And I still have the advantage of living in one of the safest states. So, the state here at least is going to have some pushback on it, but there's nothing to stop them from passing federal legislation. All their bullshit about states' rights, you can be sure none of that's going to matter. They're going to pass things at federal levels, so it doesn't matter what the states say.
And there will be a time that even the safe states in the United States won't be safe for people like transgenders and gay people and you name it, because
Average people
of this federal thing.
Yeah, well, that, and I don't even see a hope for fixing this the next time around, or taking the Senate in the midterm elections, because the Republicans are basically going to control all the election laws.
How is it that you think that we're going to have another election?
Well, we'll have another election.
No, we won't.
Yep. No. They will put on the pretense of having an election.
Yeah, it will be sham, like in Russia.
Yeah, right. They're going to make sure that there is no way that anyone else can win.
Yeah. And then the following one will win in a landslide, like 80% of the votes. And then, there is something really, really wrong.
You have a point there, Ned.
But what I'm really asked to be here in is because I used to have, most of you know this harebrained idea of mine. If trans people, if they are not feeling safe, if they want to leave, you can immigrate to Europe or to the Netherlands. You only need a passport. You don't need a permit to stay, because there is a treaty between the USA and Europe. And there are people here that are willing to receive you and help you on your way.
The Netherlands would probably be a better choice than Europe.
Europe and all of the European Union has the same treaty. So you can go to France, you will go to Denmark, go to Norway. Norway is a beautiful country and probably the best country in the world.
Norway's a good one too.
Unfortunately, I'm in the situation that I'm living on a disability pension.
Oh, it is. I also informed that one, because I was told when I was talking with Jenny. I also you can take that with you.
For now, and once they end the Social Security, you won't.
And besides that, I think our Social Security system is much better than what you have.
I'd imagine it would be.
I'm retired. I own my house. I have a car. I have a motorcycle. I have a motor scooter, and I can save money of my state pension. We call it the AOW. How would it translate? It's like the standard old people law. Say something. It is what everyone gets when he reaches his pension age.
Yeah, the Social Security retirement.
Yeah. And everyone gets it if you have a pension from your job or something. Yeah, it's extra. But I can live of it. And I get something like 1,500 euros a month. And it doesn't seem much, but life is much cheaper here. Like my mortgage for my house costs something like 350 euros a month.
Well, for me, the only reason I'm able to make it month to month, though, is because my disability has, qualified me for a rent subsidy program.
No, you have the same here, but this is my own house. I mean, this is when you come to live in a house and the house is too expensive for your income, you will get rent subsidized here. It is all arranged.
You said you get.
Ned, you're missing a very important part of this whole equation.
Yeah.
People haven't got the kind of employment to end up with the kind of money to be able to even think about moving up to another state, much less across the ocean.
Yeah, I also thought of that. If you want to move to the Netherlands, you will move. You only need the stuff that is dear to you. You don't need to take the furniture. You don't need anything. Sell everything you have, and from depending on your location. If you are on the West Coast, then a one-way ticket to the Netherlands is like $800, and when you're on the East Coast, it's like $500. It must be possible. If you want to do it, it must be possible. That's all you need.
Yeah, $800 is impossible. It's impossible to save for a person who is low income in this culture today. It's just not going to happen. Okay, I'm on Social Security. I've been trying for almost 2 years now to get my car fixed, but I haven't been able to save up enough money. I pay them a little bit here, a little bit there, and maybe eventually it'll balance out and they'll give me my car back. And maybe I don't know.
I agree. It will not be reachable for everyone, but it is an idea, and you will be safe here.
Nobody does that.
And everyone here loves to speak English.
My only thought on that would be possibly some kind of GoFundMe to help crowdsource everybody chip in.
You could try it. It is an option, because the most important thing is you only need a passport. You don't need to apply for a residence permit. You don't need to apply for anything. You only need to register on an address first. Then you can, within 14 days, 2 weeks, you can go to the county hall, and then you can register as a resident here in Holland. That's it. That's all you need.
Did you know there was a time in the United States where I, as a trans woman, could not get a passport? I would not. Yeah. I was not allowed. What makes you think they're not going to do that again?
That's why I say if you want to do it quick. Before they deny your passport. If you want to come, if it's passport when you're still as the other sex on the passport, use the passport. Come here. You can change it here.
So you can take around 4 to 6 weeks to get your passport here, looks like.
Wow, that's long. I can have it in 2 weeks.
Expediently 2 to 3 weeks.
And of course, never say that you're not coming back. You need it for a vacation or something. A very, very, very long vacation. And I know of 2 people who did it. I don't know them, but I know the people who received them and helped them to get to get on the way here in the Netherlands. And they like it, and they never want to go back.
So if I move to Denmark, can I get Lego cheaper because they don't have to ship it?
I have no idea. I have no idea. I don't know how much Lego costs here. I know Lego is terrible when you step on it.
Yeah, my ex had banned Lego from the main floor of the house. I was only allowed to play with it in the basement.
Would you believe I had this chest that was like 3 foot in 3 foot, 3 foot by 3 foot by 3 foot, and it was filled till the rim with Lego when I was a child.
My collection of loose parts, this is not even counting the stuff that's still been kept as sets, is more than a dozen 10-gallon bins.
Yeah. You're one of the real ones.
I literally, my late fiance did not believe me when we were coming back to get stuff I had in storage. And I was telling her that it really was not going to fit in her vehicle. She thought I was exaggerating. But yeah, I literally have enough Lego that it would not all fit in my van at one time.
Yeah, but when I was like from 6 to 10 years old, there were no accessories. There were only building bricks, pieces to make roofs, to make windows and stuff. There were not these accessories that like you can build a plane or something. It wasn't there. It was only to build things. And I built things. I built castles. Yep. I built everything with it.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing is I never gave any of mine up. So I still have the ones from when I was a child. Sets from the early 70s, back when it only came in like 4 colors.
Yeah.
Before they came up with the idea of minifigs.
Yeah. Yeah, my mind got gradually. I lost something, and so I was stealing something, and I gave the rest to my son, and he sold it, and that was it. I don't have anything left of it.
My nephew's got my, got all of my vintage Star Wars and everything, but they didn't get my Lego.
Mm-hmm. But now you have Minecraft. It's something like it on computer.
Yeah, it's not at all the same to me, and that's a big part of it. Is I'm not nearly as visually oriented as most people. I'm much more geared to auditory and tactile. So it's like I need to feel the physical pieces. I need to hear that click.
So when you're rubbing one out and you're doing a lot of moaning, you must be in absolute heaven. Never mind.
No, you kind of faded at the end there. I didn't hear the punchline there.
It's not worth repeating.
But you know what I hated about Lego? To tidying up behind myself. I always had to put it back in the case.
Well, with the bins of loose parts, I had an easy solution for that. I just spread out a sheet on the floor first and dumped the bin out onto the sheet. So then when it was time to clean up, you just pick up the 4 corners of the sheet and you can dump it right back in the bin.
That would have been a good idea if I was that smart that time.
Of course, even my ex's ban on the Lego from the main floor of the house. One of my cats conspired against her because, and this is what proved to me that cats are not colorblind. Because Tasha loved anything that was red and small enough for her to pick up. So she would grab red Lego pieces and bring them upstairs to play with. And like when we moved the couch, there would just be a pile of little red things. And it was only red. And it's like, I've got a pile of Lego that has 80 different colors in it. And it was only the bright red pieces that she ever took.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's that whole thing about cats being colorblind and not seeing red is bullshit.
You know that this thing that is going on Twitter that you have on TikTok, that someone makes a cat sound, and when you play that, your cat is coming. Is something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I was on with a few neighbors, a few houses from me, and then I heard this sound outside. And it was my cat sitting in front of the door. It was like, "Are you coming? Are you coming?" This is really weird. I can understand a little cat now.
Oh yeah, I speak cat because I've lived with them all my lives. So I understand several dozen different sounds they make and what they mean, and I can repeat them back to them. I talk to them in their language.
Yeah.
It's a little difficult when you don't have a tail, but other than that.
Mm-hmm. And I have one of these Bengal cats. It's the small sort, and Bengal cats are really talky. They always answer. You can have conversations with it. I don't understand them. I doubt if they understand me, but it was like we're talking together.
Oh yeah, I do that every day. Yeah, I'm still needing to find a home for Ethan.
Didn't get yourself in trouble there, did you?
Huh?
Didn't get yourself in trouble there, did you?
No, they're not aware of it yet, but it's bound to come up eventually if I don't find him a home before the next time they do the inspections.
Yeah.
And I think the building manager would understand my situation for a while, but it's been several months, so
yeah.
And part of the problem is I'm not really enthused about doing it because, he's such a nice cuddly. He's the perfect kind of lap kitty that everybody wants, and I don't really want to send him away. I feel really bad about doing that. Heathen Granny, the tiger will eventually eat you. Ask Siegfried and Roy.
Yeah.
Well, there are sites you can maybe use that might help you find somebody, like the animalallies.net.
Yeah.
Helps with rehoming.
Yeah, Sumami. I have no question that kittens are smarter than a lot of people. I do believe that a lot of my neighbors could be outsmarted by a cow, and unfortunately, this election result tends to confirm that for me.
Yeah. The USA just flunked the the most easy IQ test possible.
Yeah, these election results are basically like the cows voting for Ronald McDonald.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a fair number of women that I've run into on TikTok who are feminists who've been doing TikToks for some time now and all that. And a universal theme is developing in response to the men who flooded to Trump to vote for him. And that is to just cut men off out of your life 100% permanently. Just get them out of here because they're absolutely useless.
Thanks.
Well, sorry, man. All they do is hurt. All they do is kill. All they do is politic. All they do is imprison women. That they're just not worth having a relationship with. And it's picking up. It extends out of the 4B concept that's out of Korea, but it's starting to take on its own American twist. And I'm not saying I'm for it. I'm just reporting what I'm seeing.
Yeah, I've heard about that movement, and I don't really know what the gender situation is like in like Korea or that. So I'm not sure how it applies there, but
in Korea, women are treated like the hypersexualized, submissive people that American men want them to be. And they are protesting about it because they're educated, they're experienced with things now, and they're saying bullshit. And we're not going back to that 1500s crap. We're going to be independent adults, and if you don't like it, go pound off.
And actually, historically, that has worked several times. That's actually part of how women got the right to vote in the U.S. Was the basically the idea of cutting off men and saying that, if you don't support us, you're not having sex anymore. And that's the one thing men couldn't tolerate the idea of.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I can understand a lot of the points behind it, but as with anything taken to the extreme, you can't say that all men are that way. That
Mm-hmm.
I have some male friends that are worthwhile. I am very particular. There is a lot of them that I've known that I won't associate with anymore, but there are some good ones.
Did you know that there is a woman who is sexually assaulted every 60 seconds in this country? Now, if you want to count those up, you'll find that that's a very large number, which means that you've...
Oh, okay. It's not the same woman.
At least something close to that in the number of men who have done those things. Now, if all these men are doing that kind of thing, then you got to wonder if every woman knows at least one woman who has been raped, but men say they don't know anybody who has ever raped. Is it all men or just those men? Sorry, it's all men until there's no men. And if they can't take responsibility and start demanding that their brothers in arms start to shape the fuck up and grow up and be adults and be kind and be sensitive and caring and goddamn it, human beings, it's never going to change.
Yes, we need to tar everybody with the same brush.
Well, I get that all the time as a boomer. Welcome.
We're both boomers.
Yeah, but also, if you're spreading everybody with the same brush, you're not going to recruit any allies.
Mm-hmm.
You can't overgeneralize with any group of people, and it's like, even if I give you that it's 90% of men that are like that, you don't want to drive away the other 10%. You want the other 10% to talk to their friends and maybe increase that 10% to something more.
When you tar away room with the same brush, then you could have that 10% and turn on you.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, you're right. We should pretty much just leave it the way it is. I'm sorry.
No,
not
I'm
what
not
I
saying
said.
leave it the way it is. I'm
Yes, you are.
saying
No, we're not.
no.
Yes, you
I'm
are.
saying think strategically of how to get the ones who aren't like that to help you.
They have been begged, cajoled, encouraged, taught how to come to this side and help, and they have not done it for my entire life. These calls have been going on. Okay, and nothing has changed. Nothing.
Yeah, you realize that you're tarring mage here with that same brush. Is that really what you think of mage?
No, of course not. But we
Okay,
can't.
then
But
it's
we
not
can't. But
all
we
the
can't
men.
diddle around with exceptions when we got such a massive problem. Okay, now I'm not saying that I don't want to talk to Mage again. Of course I do. Mage is a wonderful man, but I'm not going to sit here and say, well, let's see how many men we can accept from this situation, because we've done that for the last 50 years, and all it does is make all men think that it's okay, that there's no real problem because it's only those guys. Well, the mass needs to take responsibility and say, yes, it is those guys, and it's our responsibility to change them, because nothing else has worked.
Okay, how do you propose changing them?
I don't know. I've been floundering for 50 years. I don't know.
Okay, so I'm just saying that driving away the ones that would actually help is not the way to change the ones that are bad.
Well, see, that's the whole idea. If you don't let them have what they want most, which is sex, then they'll kind of decide themselves, we better do something about this.
Yeah.
Because that's all that really matters to most men. Certainly not quality people like Mage, but most men. And unless you take away the thing that is their number one privilege.
Yeah. And I'm fine with that, just just don't write them all off as possibly being friends. You don't have sex with them, and you get to know them as friends first, and just get to know which ones are worthwhile and get rid of the ones that aren't worth talking to.
You're not realizing that almost 3/4 of the men in this country who voted to allow abortion to be banned, to allow women to be subservient. Okay, they just voted this to be our national standard. Okay, they're taking away healthcare, they're taking away education, they're taking away freedom, they're taking away economic freedom. It's not just a little thing. It's not just people having an attitude. It is a goddamn fucking conspiracy, unspoken conspiracy that's been going on since the dawn of time, and it's time to come to an end. The patriarchy sucks. All it does is hurt, maim, and kill.
Yes, and I think most of that is actually deeply rooted in Christianity.
Yeah.
Because the Bible tells them that women are property.
It is in every religion.
The three major religions in this world are the Abrahamic religions, and they are the center of all the violence and war in this world today. Everything that happens in the Mideast is based on religion. Everything. Yep. My entire life.
It's absolutely true.
Yep.
So don't tell me that there's some peaceful religions. I've never seen one.
Yeah.
I think
Jainism. Jainism. They have mouthpieces because they are afraid to swallow bugs and kill them. Jainism, and when you are an extreme Jainism follower, is dead
Yeah,
because yeah.
because every breathe you take in microbes and kill them.
Yeah, no. They are so respectful for life that if they were Jainism extremism, they would stop eating everything because they respect life so much, and they will just die.
Yeah. It is unfortunately a truism that life feeds upon life.
Yeah,
There is no way a human can survive without killing something, even if you're a strict vegan.
Yeah, well, what's the percentage of Janus in the world? Like 0.00010% or something?
Yeah.
Oh, add few zeros. Add a few zeros after the dot.
Oh, okay.
It's a lot. Let's have like 1,000 or something. Maybe 10,000, but that's all.
Not even worth considering.
No.
Ned has his cheering section.
Let's see here. Per 2011 census, there were 4,451,753 Jains in the 1.8385 billion population of India.
Oh, that's more than I thought.
Well, that's based in India, huh?
Yeah.
I thought for sure it was based at a children's book publisher.
No. They are real. They have utmost respect for life, for other live beings, and they don't want to step on ants or whatever. No, they're really respectful for life.
Yeah, and I have to agree with Heathen Granny here that unfortunately one of the things that the Republicans are going to be going for now is to take back the women's right to vote.
Yep.
Of course.
Although that's just kind of a stepping stone, because actually what they're going to try to do is take everybody's right to vote.
I love that meme I saw. There was a picture of a bunch of women in their blue burqas and a bunch of women in the Handmaid's Tale outfit. And the line on top says, well, take your time and choose carefully which one of these you would prefer to wear when American women become subservient. And then the bottom says, trick question, you don't get the choice. You'll wear what we tell you.
I think I saw that.
Yeah, Jenny, did you post that in the Twitter group? Because I remember seeing it.
I think I probably did. And I'm paraphrasing it.
Yep. Oh. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm very low energy here just because my brain is just stunned that I can't believe the results.
Well, the only way I managed to get any sleep last night was to drink myself numb.
Yeah, I was working on a combination of these Xanax and whiskey. I should have just avoided looking at the election results altogether like I had planned to, but I was expecting some good news, and yeah.
Well, the good thing that came out of the elections is Tammy Baldwin won senatorship, won her seat again in Wisconsin, and this actual Nazi and racist and sexist who has actually published all of these sentiments on TikTok and various places was beaten by shockingly little, but still was beaten.
You know what would be cool? I don't think it's going to happen. But, we did see an increasing number of Republicans coming out and supporting Harris. And it would be cool if after they're sworn in, just 2 of the Republican senators jumped parties, because that would change the majority in the Senate, and that would give them the ability to block a lot of the shit.
Let's hope that it is this way.
Yeah. I don't expect it to happen, but it's, one of those kind of last hope ideas.
But what happened is very serious. I am Dutch. It shouldn't even concern me. But I couldn't sleep this night and I had the same when Barack Obama was his second term against this other idiot, and thank God he won. Thank God, I said thank God, but
Yeah.
You know what I mean.
Well, Trump being elected could have impacts across the world.
Yeah.
Well, basically, most of the economists who looked at his plan said that Trump's plan has the potential to tank the American economy within a year. And if the American economy drops that fast, there's the potential for it creating another worldwide depression.
Mm-hmm.
Because, most of the international economy is actually based on the US dollar. So if the value of the dollar drops that suddenly, other markets won't have the ability to readjust.
We were multiplying
we have
Jennies.
2 Jennies now.
Yeah. Did anybody else get dumped? It just suddenly shut down.
Yeah. Well, it's still looking like we've got 2 of you here, and I don't know which one's the real you. Okay, one of them dropped.
And I'm still black.
It's okay, brother. It's hip.
I tried every kind of avatar I had, but it wouldn't send.
Oh, were you logged into StreamYard?
Yeah. It doesn't send.
Well, I mean, you can join a chat on StreamYard without being logged in to StreamYard. And you have to be logged into StreamYard in order to change your avatar.
No, I also tried that.
Okay.
Mage knows.
Yeah.
Tried everything.
StreamYard just doesn't like you.
Yeah. I swear to you, I'm a Dutch cheesehead, blue-eyed, blonde hair, mostly gray by now. I'm not at all a big black dot.
StreamYard has put in a new feature. If we're looking at the comments and everybody's lines in their avatar come up, if I put my finger on the avatar and hold it there, a box comes up that says the person's name, their most recent comment. I can push a button to make it show on stage. Let's see if that actually works. No, it doesn't seem to. And then it says ban user and delete, put user in timeout, star comment. Let's see if that works. No, that doesn't seem to work either. So I don't know why I'm getting these apparently administrator things in here.
That is weird.
Yeah, no, until you mentioned it, I didn't realize that. But yeah, I see that if I go over somebody's avatar, it gives me the 3 dots and it gives me some options there. Although the options I'm seeing are mostly with dealing with the mic setups and so forth.
See, no,
I don't even have a. I only have remove from stage, edit name and headline, edit audio avatar, stop microphone cam. That's all I have.
Click on the comments so you can see everybody's comments from the YouTube chat.
Yeah.
And then scroll over one of their names.
Yeah, I see put user in timeout and ban user.
Curious if this might be a StreamYard's fuck up.
Yeah, well, I would hope that that's only available to like the moderators and not just
like I said,
anybody who gets in the stream.
I tried all of them, none of the buttons work.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
And sorry to anybody who may have accidentally gotten banned, and if it did work.
Oh, Ivy's getting testy.
Yeah, test like to see because Ivy is also blue. Participants, timestamps, reactions, pop-out chat, send feedback. Ivy can do more than I do.
Okay, actually, I don't think that Trump will ban the January 6th idiots because he doesn't give a shit about the minions.
Yeah, but he never came true to his promises in the first time he ran. So why would he do it now?
Well, the only people that Trump gave pardons to are the ones who could, give him like $2 million.
Yeah,
You might see him do a few pardons here and there just as a show.
I know a way to get rid of Donald Trump. Convince him to visit the harbor town of Makkum in Friesland. It's about 5-6 kilometers from where I live. They can they can drink his blood because he almost ruined the whole town because his Trump princess, number one, was completely refitted there. And he never paid the shipyard, never. And then he got so many procedures against him, so many, how do you call it? He was, what the hell would do? I'll sue you. He was sued so many times that he just bought the whole shipyard and let it wither away.
Yeah.
People got fired, and it took this whole. It was in the 90s somewhere. It took the whole town like 15 to 20 years to get over it. Now everything is okay again. But if they hear the word Trump,
Yeah.
I think if Trump would visit there, I think he would be. I cannot be not allowed, but I think he would not return.
That was one I haven't heard of.
Well, Trump has a long history of not paying his bills, not paying the workers.
Just Google Makkum Harbor. Makkum, that is MAKKEUM. Makkum, yeah. And Trump Princess. Then you find it. It's everywhere on the internet. His Trump Princess. He bought that from some oil millionaire, and then he had it refitted in Makkum, and everything was gold on that thing.
I cannot understand why all these various, and in some cases, very small towns and townships and cities have rolled out the red carpet for this prick and all this police protection and parade routes and shutting people down, interfering with their lives, so that he can come in and say stupid things for a couple of hours, and then he doesn't pay the bill. How can towns know that? It's well known that he's not paying these places.
Yeah, now it is, but
he's still spending all the taxpayers' money and never to be reimbursed. How stupid can they be?
30 years ago, they didn't know. Now they do know.
There's another interesting problem with Trump's presidency. That part of the job of president is to basically travel around the world and meet with the heads of state of other countries. But as a convicted felon, Trump has been banned from entering 37 countries.
Yep.
That's funny.
So how is he going to even perform that duty?
Has to invite them over?
Well, yeah, he wants them to come here because then he gets paid for them staying in his hotels.
Yeah. But you can Google the story I told you. It's all on. It's all over internet.
Oh,
it has.
Yeah, I believe it. With Trump's history, it fits right in.
Yeah. It was in several magazines and everywhere.
Yep.
And because this shipyard was famous for customizing ships, and he totally ruined it. Now it is back in business again after 25 years.
Okay, another thing about cats here. My cats are definitely worried about me. They're trying to comfort me because they can tell I'm distressed.
Well, like I said, mine is coming to get me when I'm too long away, so visiting someone.
Well, my cats have put aside their civil war and are just taking turns trying to be here with me.
No, I only have one.
Well, I've got 3, and let's just say we know Petunia had a rough life before we found her. So she's still kind of a high-strung bitch. She's triggered very easily.
And we sent you a picture of mine in the DM group.
In the Twitter group?
Yeah. And he was laying like he was broken in half. And it was really looking. This cat is sleeping in the most absurd positions. My cat is not normal.
I am not seeing a picture from you.
Oh, very high. Yeah, very high up. It was there.
Oh, okay. So it's before all the election stuff?
Yes, yes. Or it was like you see 2 cats, but only half of every cat.
Okay, I'm not finding it right now.
I can see if I can send it to you if I can find it.
Okay. Yeah, there's apparently some stuff that I missed because I was trying to tune out and I haven't been on social media as much. Just because the whole election thing was getting me so strung out.
Oh God, do you guys are familiar with the story of the squirrel Peanut that was taken by the state gendarmes? Did you hear the reason why all that went down?
That they found that woman, and I think this woman is afraid to go on the street now.
Story from me, then. You tell him.
Me? I was.
Well, you seem to want to tell the story.
Yeah,
so
this afternoon I was helping some guy. I had to just look at his big compressor to see if everything was running right, and then I going to some TikToks, and everywhere there was this. I don't remember her name, but everyone was. They found her, and there was another lady who also sounded a little bit like her. She said, "I'm not this woman. Did you see it?" And with pictures and everything. And I believe she has she deleted her account, and she's in hiding. So far, it is. And that woman was in Texas, and these squirrels and the squirrel and the raccoon were in New York. She complained about that. This is too crazy.
Gee, why
for
did
words.
she complain?
She did.
Complain.
I don't know. She was out of her mind, crazy. It was a Karen.
Well, I guess we'll never know.
But she is in hiding now. And
I understand from the officials' point of view, about Peanut, just as far as the laws they had to enforce and such.
Except they didn't have to enforce them.
Yeah, well.
The only thing I don't quite understand is why he killed the damn thing.
Rabies test.
Yeah.
You don't need to kill a fucking animal to do a rabies test.
Yes,
you do.
No.
The only way that can be certain is taking a cross section of the brain.
I lost a cat to that when I lived in a rural area, and the cat went insane.
Yeah.
kind of a pointless test to do then.
Yeah.
Well, no, they did the test because the squirrel had bitten one of the people.
Yeah, a frightened animal is going to kind of do that.
Right, of course, but then they had to know whether or not the person had been exposed to rabies.
The reason the woman made the complaint, yes, the biting is all true. But the reason the woman made the complaint is because Peanut was getting more views than she was.
I think it's that way, yeah.
Yeah, that's unfortunately very believable.
So it's a Karen. An entitled Karen.
Yeah, that she thought somebody was taking the spotlight away from her.
Yeah.
Even with the bite, it doesn't make much sense.
What do you mean, Mage?
I mean, rodents are a very low risk of having rabies at all. So you'd have to have an extreme in case is to warrant a test.
Actually, I thought squirrels were a fairly high vector for rabies.
Very
Not when
low.
kept indoors by a family and don't go outside and deal with
Yeah.
other animals.
Even outside, like a Wisconsin Department of Health Services, is rabies small rodents. Animals include mouse, rat, rabies poison is almost never necessary except under unusual circumstances. These animals exhibit bizarre behavior, acting overtly sick.
But Purple, I found the picture. I discarded it to you. DM'd it to you.
Small rodents, small rodents, squirrels, hamsters, guinea pigs, yada yada, especially ones kept indoors, wild or kept as pets, are rarely found to be infected with rabies and have not been known to transmit rabies to humans.
Yeah, raccoons, unfortunately, are much higher. But raccoons have about a 20% chance of carrying rabies.
Yeah, but if you carry rabies, you'll be dead. The animal will be dead in 3 weeks.
Again,
and they were years there.
The raccoon doesn't catch it spontaneously. It is not an airborne virus. It's direct contact. So it's the same thing as with the squirrel.
Okay.
If they haven't
I
been
don't know where he got the
other
raccoon
wild
from.
animals, then they're okay.
Yeah, I don't know where he got the raccoon from. I don't know how long he's had the raccoon.
A few months. No, it was years. I thought it was a few months he had the raccoon.
I heard that the squirrel had been around for 8 years, and they implied the report
7 years.
Implied that the raccoon was around for at least that long.
Yeah,
but I don't know.
Yeah, the squirrel was around for 7 years, and I'm pretty sure they only just recently got the raccoon, and they were planning on rehabilitating and letting it go if they could.
Yeah, which was the plan with the squirrel too, but the squirrel came back.
Yeah, they tried to rehabilitate and let the squirrel go, but they couldn't.
Squirrels are smart. They know when a good place is where to live.
Well, yeah, he found the squirrel just after its mother got killed, and it was still a baby. So
yeah,
it was traumatized, and it imprinted on the first animal that it thought was going to protect it. Okay, there you go. There's Ned's kitty.
That's it. Name is Cisco. See, and it sleeps in. It was just woken up when they took this picture. It was sleeping in this position.
Somebody broke your cat.
Yeah, it looks like it. Or it's like one half of the cat is between the pillows and the other one is coming between. It's just crazy.
Yeah.
Please follow all the instructions when assembling your cat.
Yeah.
This is what happens when you get a cat from IKEA.
Yeah. Put it together wrong.
Yeah. Ethan often worries me because he often sleeps looking like he's been hit by a car.
What does this look like?
Yeah, I have to check if he's breathing because I keep getting scared.
Well, think about it this way. Don't get scared, because if he's not breathing, there's nothing you're going to do about it, and they're probably already dead. So don't worry about it. How's that for cold-hearted?
Very, and yeah. I've been in that situation enough times. Like I said, I've lived with cats all my life, and unfortunately, they do not live as long as I do.
Yeah.
So I've had to take care of many of them over the years and comfort other people when they were gone.
No, this one is about 2.5 years old, and before that, I had an orange-white
So
cat,
he's a young one yet.
and that died on. His son suddenly got ill, and we went to the veterinarian, and there he died on the table. It was very sad, and I thought I will never get a cat again. But then the help I have in the house brought me this one, because she had kittens. You know what you get when you get a kitten in your arm.
Yeah.
It happens. So it's still there.
That's usually how you get a cat. That just kind of shows up.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, the cat distribution network, that's a thing.
Yeah. Because here in the Netherlands, you don't buy a cat, you just get it. People have kittens and say, "Do you want a kitten? Our cat had kittens." Yeah. And then, so it was, she just took it with her. And she said, "Here, that's for you. You were alone. You need a cat." Oh, no, I had this one.
Well, like I said, for me, they definitely help. They help when I'm stressed out, and I definitely sleep better when I can feel one of the cats laying against me.
Yeah.
This it can change its own litter pan.
This one ambushes me. It jumps in front of me, looks up, and want to play.
Yeah, Jenny. If they were going to change their own litter box, they would no longer need humans. They would get rid of us.
Yeah. Mine doesn't have a litter box. It just goes outside.
That's it. The only reason they keep people around is because they don't want to clean their own litter box, and they haven't figured out how to use can openers.
Yeah. But like I said, I have the window of the toilet. The bathroom is open, and he has all kind of things that he can walk through, and he can get out, and he can live his life. And then he gets in, gets out again. Then he's sitting on the roof. Then I hear, and then he falls off the roof over the tiles. A cat life.
Yeah, I won't have outside cats anymore. I've had just too many bad experiences with them encountering wild animals and cars.
Yeah, but we don't have that here. It's a small country village. It's in the flatlands of Friesland. We don't have wild animals here. Nothing. Mm-hmm. The only wild animals we see is rats, and they all only come out at night. We don't see them in the daytime. And there's not that many of them.
Wait a minute, your lawyers only come out at night?
No, I don't know. I don't know if they're that well educated, these rats.
No, Tubian, I think cats are very cool creatures. I will never have one again. The one that I talked about with rabies, the reason they had to do that is because for no reason whatsoever, this cat that I had for about 5 years, whose name was Dog, an orange whatever, decided that I needed to be attacked and absolutely shredded my arms to the point of needing stitches in about 5 seconds. Mm-hmm. For no reason whatsoever. It just attacked. And that's why I will never have a cat again.
So they based a movie on that cat. Because I seen a movie that one has a cat, and they said to the girl, "I want you to name the cat." Okay, I will name it Dog. I don't know what movie it was. It was a cat called Dog.
I named it Dog because it did all the typical dog things: sit, stay, speak, come, fetch. its name was Rio, as in like Spanish for river. But I decided dog would be much better.
Yeah, whatever.
How about naming your dog Shark? So then when you take it to the beach and it gets away, you'd be yelling, Shark, Shark.
All of a sudden, what my uncle named his dog.
And if it's called Shark, maybe it'll repel Trump.
Yeah, one of my uncles, he had a black lab and he named it the N word.
Oh, yeah, you've told me about that.
Yeah, he told that you've heard the story before. Well, for anyone who might have not have heard it, well, the dog got away from him and ran past a group of black guys, and he's running after it, yelling here and.
And he didn't get the shit beat out of him?
He was lucky, apparently.
Did he vote for Trump?
No, he was actually quite liberal, but I think we got the name. He was actually using the name in more of the original terminology. I think he probably got it from the Pink Floyd song.
Let me tell you something weird. We call cats poes. And young cats we call pussies. And this cat listens to the name pussy.
Okay.
Because pussy means kitty in Dutch. And he listens to the name pussy.
Well, that's probably where we got that in English from. We probably stole the word from you.
I think so.
Yeah, that's American English especially is just, such a conglomeration of every European language thrown together.
Yeah. In Dutch, also we name the female part also pussy. Pusje is it then? Pusje. But now, I say hi pussy, and then he comes. I never told you I was normal.
Yep. Now the Egyptian, I think, really has the right way to do it for naming animals. Most of the Egyptian words for animals are making the sound the animal makes. Like Eeyore is the Egyptian word for donkey. And the Egyptian word for cat is meow.
Yeah. Sounds like Swahili. In Swahili, a motorcycle is a picky, picky, picky. Because of the first motorcycles that came there were one-cylinder motorcycle, but tok, 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 tok. And so it was picky, picky, picky. That is the name for the motorcycle in Swahili.
Yeah, I had Swahili a CC moped, so I can understand where that came from.
That's the only Swahili word I know.
There's your hug.
Huggy bears.
Yep. Well, sorry, didn't mean to do that. Yeah, I'm scared too. Like I say, my kitties are trying to comfort me because they don't know what's going on. Oh, hey, Molly. This is my friend, Molly.
Hello.
Actually, Molly was Sloth Girl's best friend, so.
You've just kind of bonded.
Yeah.
Well, you missed my intro videos.
You did intro videos?
Yes.
That was probably my fault because nothing worked with me.
I'll put them up again.
Okay.
Well, why don't you play them here?
I am going to play them here.
Oh, okay.
What's happening? Are we boned?
Yeah, we're boned.
Oh, that video.
That's one, and then the other one.
So this is how liberty dies. With thunderous applause.
Yeah.
Yep.
and the people cheering for him don't seem to have any concept for the fact that he made their lives objectively worse and killed several million Americans.
Scary how those two scenes meshed so well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you see that picture that Trump was sitting in the midst of all these people looking down at him because they felt pity for them or something? Did that picture? Someone made a video of it that a huge plunger came from the top, landed on Trump's head, and pushed him down the toilet.
No, haven't seen that one. So
I have it somewhere, but I don't know where.
Why would they wreck a perfectly good toilet?
Yeah, I thought the same way. What's wrong with the toilet? Let's have that done.
I just, well, and the Republicans have been pushing, like, to have the 10 Commandments displayed in every classroom in school.
Mm.
So how did they still support Trump when they were worshiping a literal golden idol of him? Doesn't that kind of conflict with one of the 10 Commandments?
No, because Christian nationalists are not Christians, they're nationalists. And their intent is just to use Christianity as their stepping point to convince people that nationalism is just fine. Because
it is a tool.
Yeah. All right, I'll shut up. Sorry.
Religion is a tool.
Yeah.
And you're absolutely right, Jenny. Absolutely.
Yeah, and unfortunately, one of the big pushes is to teach a very sanitized version of American history and try to say that racism never existed.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it gets worse than that.
No, that's just one of the points of their agenda.
Yeah, it gets worse than that. Not just sanitize his history. They're going to be teaching incorrect history.
Yeah.
I can tell you something that is absolutely not in American history. And is absolutely true. After the Revolutionary War, the new United States was bankrupt. Totally bankrupt. They had no money at all, nothing. So few of the founding fathers were sent to Europe to get loans. And I'm not sure, I wrote a paper on it. And I'm not sure of the names, but one of them got caught on the way to Europe by the English, and he spent the rest of his life in prison there. So he is not even mentioned as a founding father. And Adams, I think it was Adams, who knew the Dutch language, and he was sent to Holland, to the Netherlands. And another one went to France, and the one came back, the Adams, I think, or it was another. I don't know the name, but he came back with huge loans for America to get on their feet again. And and we got trade concessions with America, the Dutch, because the Dutch were always trading something. Plus, that the Dutch fleet, the East and West Indian fleet, weren't just trading vessels; it were navy vessels. There is what the merchant marine comes from. They had very large cannons, and a lot of them. And they started hunting the Portuguese, the Spanish, and all the other countries that thought the USA is now they are bankrupt. They are tired of war. Now we can get them, but they never arrived because the Dutch just took their ships or robbed them blind and stuff. And you know what? The USA never repaid any of these loans. But the Dutch got their profit from because of the trade concessions and stuff. So,
to add onto this, I do question whether the evangelical must even be called Christian, seeing as far as I understand, in a very most basic definition is someone who follows the life and teachings of Jesus Christ, be a Christian. They don't do that.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. That it's not all Christians; it's the evangelicals that are storing a lot of this up, and just
Kamala has just started giving her formal concession speech.
yeah. But if most Christians behaved like Jimmy Carter, I wouldn't have any problem with them.
Well, that the most fanatic Christians we have here are like Boy Scouts club compared to the fanatics in the USA, really. And they have, and a lot of them are Dutch Reformed. Now, that is not what the Dutch Reformed here in the Netherlands are like. They're very mellow compared to what the evangelicals in the USA. In fact, most people are here in Holland are leaving the church because we have, I think we're about have 70% of non-church going people of our population is non-church going, and about 55% identifies as atheist.
Well, and then you also have groups. I know this is particularly true of the Jehovah's Witnesses. I expect it's probably true of most of the evangelicals, that it's okay to lie, cheat, and steal if it's to accomplish spreading God's word.
Jehovah's Witnesses, we have them here, like everywhere. But I always invite them in. I always give them, I know when they're coming because somehow I know they're coming. And I give them coffee. I even give them a piece of pie, and we have a talk. And I don't know if it's a noun or something, but I really nice them into the ground. They don't get it. They cannot get to one shot at me. I'm so nice to them, so friendly and nice. And once I had they came with this whole family, there's a man, woman, 2 children. And then this man came to my home when I wasn't expecting him. And he asked if I could come in. I said, okay, come in. And then he thanked me. I said, thank you for opening my eyes that people who don't believe are not monsters. And they left the Jehovah's and they were shunned by the Jehovah's. So I said, now I don't know, we have no friends anymore. I said, you have, and I will make sure that you get more friends. And that's one of the highlights in my life.
Good.
Just by being nice, friendly, caring to these people, because they are shouted away from doors like everything. Like this joke we have here in the Netherlands. Someone rings the door on a second story house. They're usually they have a string from up the stairs, so they can open the door from upstairs. And then they open the door and they say, "We're bringing you Jesus." Okay, put him in the corner and get lost.
Yeah, there was this soda place in the mall before the mall closed down and all that. It was called Rocket Fizz, and I went there and I found Jesus there, but he was too expensive. Yeah, they had along one of the side walls. They had all these little plastic Jesuses. It's kind of like those plastic things with the wires in them, so you can spin them around and twist them around and stuff. It was like that.
Ivy is trying to get a new religion off the ground, the religion of Christianity, not Christianity, Christianity. Because what you see on toast, it's not an image of Jesus Christ; it's an image of Jesus Crust. He was a baker. He invented toast. The one who gave us toast. So Jesus Christ, buttered be his name.
I founded a church back in the 90s. It was the Church of It. Actually, that was an acronym for the Church of Intelligent Thought. So. Oh,
I thought like in the movie, like in Pennywise.
Well, And one of the first tenets was if at any time we all agreed on anything, we had to disband. But that isn't the thing that killed it. The thing that killed it was the tenet that showing up for services was grounds for excommunication.
I am an ordained minister of the Church of the Flying Spaghetti Monster.
Oh, did not know that.
And you know how much that costs to get that? $2.50 in stamps. You mail them, you mail them your name, and you get a certificate back. And we have a Church of the Flying Spaghetti Monster in Amsterdam. They have church services, and I've been there, and I had the most delicious pasta meal ever.
Well, I'd hope you would.
Because it's just a party of eating pasta and Pastafarians.
Okay. So does everybody have to wear a colander and talk like a pirate?
No, of course not. But it was just you come there and everyone is friends and everyone loves pasta. That's everything. And there is this big painting someone made of the flying spaghetti monster holding the baby Jesus in its appending noodles and something stuff. It is just like it's like the Church of Satan. It is more like a like a community club of make fun than a real religion, because it isn't.
Yeah, it sounds like it'd be a good group to get together with.
And they have it once a year in Amsterdam, and they have it in one big building like a hall, because it's getting more popular every year. And you pay it's like something of 12.5 euros per person, and then it is eat as much as you can, drink as much as you can, because everything is there, and there is always sure that if you come by car, the driver doesn't get a drop of alcohol.
Yep. Well, we had a thing here. It was basically a voluntary program, but for designated drivers.
Yeah.
That most of the bars in that would give free soft drinks to the designated drivers.
Yeah.
So I wore a designated driver button for 3 years, even though I didn't own a car.
Some other anecdote. I was in a band. We played in a bar, and at the end of the night, this bar guy came to me. You wouldn't believe it. I had beer on draft. I drafted only alcohol-free beer, and nobody noticed it. The police was taking breathalyzer tests at the end of the village, and everyone passed it.
I've thought they should kind of have a program like that, kind of like the hat checks, that when you go into a bar, everybody has to turn in their keys for a ticket, and they have to pass a breathalyzer to get their keys back at the end of the night.
Yeah, but in my province, it's Friesland. It's like the Scotland of the Netherlands, and they just don't care. They drink, they get in a car, and they always get home. Because it's when we hear of drunken drive accidents, it's more like it's in Holland, in the more of the south of the country. It's weird. I live in a weird country.
It sounds like a fun place to be.
Yeah. That's why I want to set up this thing to give trans people, if they want to come to live here, to give them the chance and the help if they want to move here. They only need to come here. That's the only thing they need to do. Have a passport and be able to come here by plane, by boat, by balloon, or whatever. They will be welcome here, and they will be safe here, because I'm not really sure if this will stay, if they will say if you all will stay safe in the United States with this idiot
Yeah.
as a president.
Might not.
Oh, well, you know,
And I'm one of these cis men, really. But I'm very sympathetic to trans people.
well, you know, I had said before that I would crate myself up and just mail myself to Denmark if somebody would open the crate and take me to Legoland. But you know,
you can
but
also
I
buy.
guess that what happens if I mail myself to you so I get into the country without a passport? What do they do with me then?
There's one time one tried it, and when they opened the crate, he was more dead than alive because it took a detour, and he had just enough food and drink and ways to get rid of his feces for a week, and it took like 2 weeks. So it's not really advisable to put yourself in a crate and go to the.
Okay. Depending how fast things go downhill, it might not be too long before that's a better chance of survival than I'll have here.
Mm. But like I say, there is a way like GoFundMe. I don't know. This is the only thing I say. If you go to the Netherlands, I will try to set up in a network work or try to start something in the trans community here, because the trans community here is very closed. It is very hard to get in that with the disease. But I have a few people I had an interview with, and a few people are willing to make this an issue to talk about, to get the trans refugees from the airport, to help them with the paperwork, and that's really a little, and then make sure that they will get a place to live, because you can just and don't go to live in Amsterdam, because that's impossible to get a place there. But there are many other nice places where you can have a decent renting house for like 300-400 euros. And if you have no income, you get the Dutch form of social security that goes for all ages. They will take care of you. And people here in the Netherlands, it's almost impossible to learn Dutch for English people, because everyone in the Netherlands wants to speak English with you. It's a friendly country. We have our stupid things, like we have this new government with Geert Wilders. He's an asshole. He's a right-wing asshole, and his son already is fucking up. And the next election, he will be gone.
Yeah, my grandfather was actually born in Denmark.
No, I'm not in Denmark. I'm in Holland, the Netherlands. But I can tell you, I'm living in the province of Friesland, and Denmark also has a province of Friesland. And if you talk Frisian, you can also talk Frisian in Denmark. How about that?
Yep.
The takeaway phrase from Kamala's speech was, although I may concede, although I may concede this campaign and election, we will not concede the fight that fueled this campaign.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's going to be very hard to fight this.
She emphasized peaceful exchange of power.
Yeah.
And helping the incoming team with their transition.
Oh, yes, let's transition all of them.
No, I don't want any of those bastards in my community. We'll take Mage.
Yeah, Mage is good just as he is. Oh.
Seem to be
Good.
capable of reaching across the aisles.
Does gray wolves have green eyes?
Blue. I have a blue eyes on that one.
Oh, I must be colorblind.
Well,
Blue.
yeah, it's also, it
Yeah.
could be your monitor renders the color slightly different.
I have 3 monitors here, and it indeed is a little bit different on which monitor. Nice picture.
Yeah.
At least he has a picture. I'm only a big black dot.
You're not
Well,
a dot. You're
hey.
You're the whole screen.
But Ned, I mean, we've got the Skeptic, which is just a floating British circle, so it works. You're not the first in the community to just be a blank circle.
Yeah, it's a black hole.
You are the singularity from which the universe emerged.
Yeah, must be.
Oh. I gotta get up for just a minute.
Yeah.
I just see this message of heathen Granny 666. I want to get my Mexican passport. And I've been to Mexico. I had a girlfriend in Mexico, and there were so many Americans living there without a passport. They just went in and they never went back. If you live off the grid, if you live off, you don't get too much attention. You just can live there, as long as you stay in the areas of close to the border. I'm not advising to do that, but it is possible.
Worst case scenario there, huh?
Worst case scenario is that there's some cartel finds you, but most of the time they only want to sell you something, and that's all. I have spent, I think, a year in about Ciudad Juarez, below El Paso. And I went there with my son. I was there, and I never felt in any danger at any moment. Weird is that? That's the murder capital of Mexico.
I was actually born in El Paso.
Yeah, but I mean in Juarez, south of the border.
Juarez.
I was in El Paso, Texas. I had
Juarez, yeah. Ciudad Juarez.
And that's below there, Mexicana.
Yeah. I was in love with how do you call it, Latina, and we went together for like 8 years, and then we broke up in friendship, but we couldn't do it anymore because I lost the ability to work because I had a few heart attacks. I had a small stroke and stuff. Yeah, that was that. But I had the time of my life, and my son also had the time of my life, because my quote unquote brother-in-law there was the president of a motorcycle club, and when I was 5 weeks there with my son. I never saw my son because all the guys with the motor club took him everywhere. They showed him everything, and he had stories and stuff. Yeah, I had a great time there. And I've been in El Paso, of course, because she had a border crossing visa, as people who live are economically, you know what I mean, bound to the city of Juarez. and I've seen the Walmart for the first time, and all that stuff is for the first time. But I also saw people carrying guns, and as someone who has never seen a gun up close like me, that scared the shit out of me.
I can see how that would be a little bit scary at first.
Well, things are really going to change around here. That's for sure.
I like to shoot. I am quite of a marksman with an air rifle, but I never had held a firearm never in my life.
I've fired off a few handguns before.
And I didn't.
I think I've done skeet shooting before.
The only things we have, and that is where you can get a permit for, is for CO2 stuff. We call it airsoft.
Yeah.
But you have to abide by really strict rules.
We have airsoft here too.
Yeah, it's a brand.
Well, it's a sort. I have a few of them, and I have a permit for it. And the fun of airsoft is you can play war as grown-up people, and you can shoot at each other. And the worst thing that happens to you that you got some bruises.
You'll put your eye out.
No, they all have they look like these guys from Halo. You know, all these kind of helmets on.
I've fired rifles. I've never fired a handgun. But, just like target shooting, like shooting cans off a log, I could never aim at something that was actually alive.
Neither could I.
So am I the bloodthirsty one around here? Because I've shot almost every imaginable gun type there is.
I can check.
The question is only what you were shooting at.
Targets and a bowling ball.
Okay. Shooting at a major retail store is kind of a no-no.
Yeah, no, I didn't do that.
The target is too big. The target is too big.
Well, I would have preferred Walmart, but
it's still too big.
My most favorite gun I ever fired was the Thompson submachine gun with the barrel magazine. Those were just so cool. They were so violent. It was just, that's a 45 caliber weapon. And if you've ever fired a 45 caliber handgun, you know that thing is just a vicious thing that will rip itself right out of your hand. It's so powerful. And the submachine gun is like that over and over and over. Just like they have it in the movies.
I enjoyed firing my dad's Ruger or 22, and his 45 was a cowboy pistol.
And the Ruger Blackhawk.
If I ever had the chance, I would love to shoot a Gatling gun. I've just been fascinated with Gatling guns all my life.
These miniguns, these things that go like this.
No, I mean like the Gatling gun on a tripod, with a mount on Jeeps.
Yeah, with a handle on it that you have to turn yourself.
Yep. Yeah.
Like this.
It's got like the 6 barrels that spin.
Yeah. Oh, now we're talking about shooting.
Yeah, is that against TikTok terms? I mean, of YouTube terms.
No, but I like this swinging from one subject to another. I can hit a beer bottle cap, with my air rifle from 50 meters without the telescopic visor. They're on telescopic thing on it.
That's a bunch of bullshit.
No, I done it on a. Because since I have my
more than once,
5 times in a row. It was on a contest, and I couldn't do it for years because I had cataract. And since I have my new eye lenses, I can do it again.
My target shooting got so much better when I realized that's my left eye that's dominant. So I have to shoot left-handed.
But I think tell you that there are people who can, from that distance, that can hit a penny. Have you seen this guy, this German guy that shot on the Olympics? He was just standing there with one hand in his pocket, and he raised his hand, bang, 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 and everything was a target.
If you want Gatling guns, how about this guy? If that's not enough Gatling guns for you, there's 4 more that in his chest wing. In his chest.
Yeah, but you need a gun you need a Gundam suit for that.
Oh, that's a mech. Okay.
Yeah, is that a Gundam mech or what?
That's a Gundam.
Is that? Okay.
That's the Heavy Arms Custom from Mobile Suit Gundam Wing. Actually, it's from the movie Endless Waltz version.
Okay.
One of the worst things about shooting is the expense of the ammunition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some of this shit it's $1 a piece, and if you get into the serious 50 caliber stuff, you can drop $25 on a single round. But it will go through a tank, So
I once had this thing that Ivy was hiding in cyberspace because some kind of copyright bots were after her, and then they had also this picture of a robot that had 4 arms that were 4 Gatling guns, just something like the picture we just saw. Just poor scary, and then with the big copyright sign on its head and the kind of stuff. Copyright bots.
The scariest gun I ever fired was a friend of mine who was a gunsmith and designed weapons for the military. Actually, hand built himself a 50 caliber revolver, and the shell is so big you can't practically get in any more than 5 for a barrel, for a, what do they call that part that goes around the revolver part? I don't know. Anyways, he let me fire that a couple times. A 50 caliber handgun is just, you're kidding. That's a huge fucking bullet.
But there are
that thing was so powerful that you stiff arm when you shoot, and I was holding my arms super stiff because I knew this was going to kick a lot, and it did. But my arms didn't collapse, but it pushed me backwards on the wet grass.
Well,
yikes!
I kind of misplaced it in the move because I don't remember which bin I put it in. But I've got a Lego model I built of a Triceratops that's got a Gatling gun on each side and a saddle.
Oh, that's awesome!
If you take it to scale with the minifig, those Gatling guns are about 5 feet in diameter.
I probably should say, in case YouTube is listening, all of these experiences I'm discussing with you, YouTube, were done with the supervision of a professional firearms instructor and a professional weapons builder. So this was not on the street live action or anything. This is well controlled and very adult. We didn't even drink any alcohol.
When you find the right entrance, you can find all these kinds of films of people that fire these ridiculous, big and powerful guns and got them smacking really right into their faces because they don't know what they're doing. I may never have held a firearm, but I know. The laws that comes with it, that the power that push the bullet out pushes also against your hand.
Yep, you have to be aware of the recoil if you're holding it wrong. A decent sized handgun can break your wrist if you're holding it wrong.
Absolutely, that's why I don't want to fire these things.
My favorite video out there is this fairly small woman. based on the belly, the beer bellies of the guys around her and their baseball hats. I'm guessing it was down south. But anyways, she's got some big old revolver of some sort. I don't know what it is, but it's a long barrel revolver. And she, is holding her hands out there, holding it with two hands, and she lets go. And her arms bend at the elbow and smack her right in the face with the recoil of the gun.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
I remember another one I saw. You were talking about the machine guns, and she was firing some kind of a small machine gun. But when it started ejecting the shells were flying right into her cleavage.
Oof.
And you know how hot those shells are when they're ejected?
Oh yeah. I like these. Also like these macho shithead pretend army boy gatherings where they try to be. I'm super shooter and I can go from here and there and shoot and how many times I've seen that they shoot it themselves in the foot or in their little leg.
Yep.
Oh man.
Like that video that was viral of this guy who wanted to pull his fast pull his pistol or whatever he had, and it shot himself in the leg.
Yeah, and all those videos of them shooting cases of Bud Light, and how many of them had a jump cut in there?
Oh yeah.
So you could see that, they couldn't hit it at that range. They had to put in a jump cut so they could move closer to shoot the case of beer.
Yeah. I saw funny videos. Don't go something completely different. You know how to clean the air filter of your car? Lay it flat on the ground. Do
in
a
a dishwasher.
No. Just put a tiny cherry bomb under it and let it explode. Like this thing that boom, do that. And every dust in the filter just falls out.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd
that
try
leave
that.
residue from the cherry bomb in the filter?
Yeah, it's little small. They're like this not bigger than a cigarette or something, like these things. You just lay it on the ground, the filter on top. If you like the things, put the filter on it, and it goes bang. Filter goes up a little, like a few inches, but the dust, like poof, goes out of it.
I'll stick to using a shop blower on it.
Yeah,
I think I would too.
I have it somewhere. The video, I can send it to you. It is just this kind of stuff.
Yeah, I had for cleaning my shop. I've got what's basically a miniature leaf blower, so you can hold it in one hand and work it.
It's just better to put it to use a new filter. Of course, it's idiotic, but
yeah. Well,
Well,
off
it's
of
being
what the new
playful.
filters cost, because it's like, they make them a specific size for each make of car.
yeah.
And half the time you got to go to a dealer to get one, so they crack up the price.
Of course. Or you go to AliExpress.
Or you do what I did, and you just take the old one out of the frame and you cut a furnace filter to the same size and stick it in there.
Oh, you can do everything. You can just make them yourself.
Or you buy a proper lifetime filter and just wash it out and put it back in. K and N. The letters K and N. Very nice filters. Not cheap.
I never changed an air filter. Never.
Well, that would explain why your car is so slow.
No,
you really do got to change those things.
My car is so slow because it has an 800 cubic centimeter three-cylinder engine in it. And I don't need these immensely huge engines.
Yeah, if it's less than 300, I don't even want to look at it. That's not true.
You like BMW? I had one. I had a black one. It was a beauty, and I had to sell it. Because that was the time when I got in disability with my heart attacks and stuff, and I had to sell my beautiful black BMW. But since then, I have the small cars, and they're nice. They work.
I'm wondering if I can get my van to live longer than I do.
Yeah, that's easy.
Well, considering how little I actually drive in a year, it's a possibility because those the drivetrains on those are known to last over 300,000 miles.
Just got to keep it maintained.
Yep.
Who was that? Oh, Aunt Jer. Did anybody of you look at that video that Aunt Jer sent to me on the DM? What was it titled? Something like it was making this noise, and then that's all the sentence there was. Ellipse, and it's just all this compilation of all these shots from different shops over the years of mechanics running into really horrible things that the customer was oblivious to. Like your car is about to break in half. Didn't you notice that squeaking and squiggly feeling?
All these videos are awesome.
And there's things of people who decided to DIY their car, and they fill their crankcase up with coolant,
Yeah.
and then run it, and it mixes together and becomes this gray poop looking baby poop looking color liquid that we call master fluid, because it was in the radiator too. Oh God.
You see these videos of girls that are refilling their oil with coolant just in the engine right away. I know what I'm doing. You don't need to tell me. I know what I'm doing. Okay,
Seen the videos of these women driving around with the pump sticking out of their car.
No. Yeah, with the pump hose, like a big snake behind them.
Yep.
They completely ripped it out of the. Yeah.
Well, that's why the standards now are that the hoses have to have an automatic disconnect if they're pulling hard.
But there still seem to be stations that don't have that. And then how about these guys, these women who tried to fill their Teslas up with gasoline?
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Well, that's safe because there's really nowhere to put the nozzle. There's a little door for the charger, but it's a solid plug. You can't put anything in there. No,
of course not. But because they run around it with the hose, but they cannot find the hatch for that.
And I assure you, there are men who would have that same failure, not just women.
Absolutely.
I remember people having that problem with the classic VW Beetles, back in the early 70s.
Yeah.
Because the gas cap was actually in the trunk, and the trunk was actually the front because the engine was in the rear.
Yeah.
So you had to pop the front hood to get to the gas cap.
Yeah, and later on
a lot of people just couldn't figure out because they couldn't find a gas cap anywhere.
Later on, you got them on the side.
Yeah.
Well, but my father once removed it with how you call it, Bondo stuff, and it was just gone. There was no in an old VW, and then they went to a serviced gas station, and they asked, and this guy, where the hell is this? Where the hell is it? They couldn't find it. And then opened the hood on no, it's not here. And we all filmed that. And later on,
This is
Someone else.
AI. This is AI. I'm going to keep using it. Too bad.
K-Bot, I wanted to ask you what you said before. I've heard people arguing against AI before, and I've heard some people mention that environmental thing. Now, I am not a fan of AI because of what it does do to artists, but I don't get the environment part. Could you tell me what that means?
There's a lot of resource intensive in how what the processors and all that needs to generate them.
Yeah,
So they are
I
doing
suppose
that.
it's similar to the crypto mining. Just that the graphics processors wind up using an awful lot of electricity.
Yeah, because there are places that have trouble with powering up these server farms because they take a lot of electricity.
Yep. Yeah, especially if they try to set one up in a smaller community that the grid's not designed for taking that much power.
Like trying to switch over a country to electric cars with a grid that is absolutely not suited for it.
Yeah.
You mean like America?
Yeah.
Oh, not America. Only here we have the same.
Yeah, I've heard of it being a problem in several countries that the power grid just can't provide enough amperage for a bank of electric car chargers without, dimming the lights in the neighborhood.
It's now here in the Netherlands. It is or you have the lights on in your house, or you charge your car. You don't do both of them. And it takes to upgrade the grid here in Holland, of in the Netherlands, it will take like something of 18 years to get it up to speed, because it's a mega project. It's a giga project doing that.
Yeah, that in some places, they actually would have to run more physical lines just because the cables running from the power station, to the distribution stations just can't handle that much current.
Yeah. But in the United States, they can do one very simple thing, but they just won't do it. They upgrade from 110 volts to 230 volts, because then the lines have an overcapacity. Because the lower the voltage, the bigger the diameter of the wire has to be. But they won't do it. And then people driving an electric car, they don't think of one thing. That is I believe it's the first or the second law of thermodynamics. You cannot change, or you cannot make energy. You cannot destroy energy. So every kilowatt hour of electric energy your car uses goes out of the chimney of an electric plant.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not stopping the carbon emissions. You're just moving them to a centralized location.
But we're driving green. Oh, it's so green. Okay, you say from windmills or solar panels, but also these solar panels take energy to make.
Yeah, actually, my biggest concern about the electric cars, which I haven't heard anyone address yet, is at the end of their lifespan, the batteries.
Yeah, that's the big problem.
That once the batteries burn out, what are you doing with those?
Yeah, it's worse than nuclear waste.
Yeah, well, I know that because it ran into that being a problem, with the power tool batteries 20 years ago. They were talking about that, but I don't hear anybody talking about it in concern to electric cars.
I don't know very much of the thing, but I heard somewhere that the lithium, when the batteries are worn out, the lithium is like it's transformed in something very much more poisonous than lithium by itself. That's why they can't do anything with it. They cannot store them, because if one catches fire, they all catch fire. It is an enormous problem. It even burns underwater.
Yeah, that's why you have to swim toward the shark.
Yeah.
All I want is sharks with freaking tasers.
Sounds funny, but why?
All I want is a president with the over 70 IQ.
Yeah. Well, it just sharks with tasers for Trump about whether he'd rather be electrocuted or eaten by the shark. We could have.
Oh, yeah. I would rather be electrocuted. But perhaps we can arrange that.
I can electrocute you if you want. That's pretty easy.
Yeah.
But the idea of the US going to 220 voltage, yeah, the logistics of that, I think, would be a problem, because wouldn't you have to rewire every building in the country for the larger wire gauge?
No, because you get a smaller wire gauge when you have a higher voltage. Believe me, I'm an electrician. I know what I'm talking about. You only need other generators. Most of the equipment you have at the moment, like you have a computer, don't even care if it's 110 volts or 240 volts, because they are all electronically. And the only thing you need to change in the house are the light bulbs. And for people who refuse to go to 220 volts, you can provide them with a transformer who brings it back to 110 volts. It is a win-win situation, but they need to adapt every power station that there is to this voltage.
No, actually, most American houses have 220 volts coming in.
Yeah,
and it gets split at the circuit panel into two 110s.
No, that's two phase. 220 volts on one phase. That gives you something like 380 volts between phases. I want a cookie.
Well, I'm sure that we'll get on that right after we get to the metric system. So,
how many of you guys out there in the chat know what phasing in electric motors means?
No one, I guess. But it is. Hey, Jenny, it is the same when you explain the carburetor of a BMW to someone on Wall Street.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We can hear you, Jenny.
I want a cookie.
When I had a shop, I did have some equipment
so
that actually ran on 223 phase.
Because when you have on between two phases, 220 volts, then even the base voltage is even lower. It's like 80 volts or something. No, it is just three phases. That's what comes from every generator. When you put that through your wiring, your wiring is more than capable of taking that. Even when you go up to 400 volts, because the higher the voltage, the lower the ampage. So you can transport way more energy through the same wires. That's why I have when I was in Mexico, they also had 110 volts. And I said, what are these cables that going to the power tools? They were so thick. But that was because of the 220 volts. With us, they're thinner than my pinky. It's the voltage different. But like you said, this will happen when the USA starts going to decimal.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I think that's another thing that with the people who got elected, we're not going to make any progress on that kind of thing.
I know when it will happen. When Christmas and Easter fall on the same day.
Second Tuesday of next month. Week. I screwed that up.
No. It'll be the 5th. It will be the 5th Friday in February.
Like Ivy would say, that's on August 11th.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, but oh God. I'm trying to figure out the balance between having enough of the Xanax that I can calm down and actually accomplish something without having enough that's just going to put me to sleep. And I'm not sure there's actually a point in that. But I got a bunch of paperwork I gotta get done, and it's just, yeah.
Oh, it's September 11th. Ivy corrected me.
Okay. I get that though. I get that, as a writer, I've had that happen to me too. That I've had some of my characters point out where I got something wrong.
You know what? The thing is of this live stream, Ivy is not complaining. She's always complaining. For God's sake, say something.
I want to get back to writing. I haven't done that in a while.
How many writers are there on this stream now?
I think all of us.
Yeah, we might well be.
I'm still writing my first novel. And I can tell you, I have not in the same names, but I have kind of predicted the situation of this Trump election.
Well, going by what the polls are showing, usually you have a rule of if you have the Democrat has to have 3 points or higher or to win it, and I was thinking that can't be possible that he's taking everything the way it was showing, and that's what happened.
Mm. And I think it has a very big possibility that Democrats thought, we're so much ahead in the polls, we don't need to vote anymore.
Unfortunately, yes, that has happened many times with Democrats. And
that's the most stupid thing to think.
Yeah.
Vote, you have the right, do it, use it.
Well, and one of the things that bothered me is everything was focused on the presidential candidates.
Yeah.
And I really think that we needed to talk a lot more about who was going to be in control of Congress. Because, both of those were a very thin margin. It was possible for either party to take control of either house. But nobody was talking about that.
It's something that we don't understand here, that the days of the presidential elections are on the same day as Congress. We don't have that here. Every part of government has its own election day. like we have our Congress we call the second, the Tweede Kamer. I don't know the proper name for it, but it's the same. And when we have the more local things and all the other branches, they have different dates of election. We never do anything on the same day because it's confusing. We even vote for things that we don't even know what it is.
Yeah. I don't know, just the election results don't make any sense by any of the polls. Okay, yes. The polls were so tight that by that I can see how Trump could have eked out a victory. But I mean, for either side, it shouldn't have been more than a couple of percentage points. And there should be some states that should be so close that they'd have to do a recount.
Mm. And there is something else that we don't understand, that is your electorate system. Why don't you have the system of popular vote? We live in a world of computers.
Yeah, we have.
We don't need it.
We have the electric system because it was devised in 1787, and they haven't bothered to update it since then.
Then it was useful because there was no quick communication.
Yeah.
But since we have telephones, since we have the internet, it's absolutely obsolete. Why?
Oh, yeah.
If you have the popular vote, it would probably be totally different. Probably we would have.
If we had the popular vote, Trump wouldn't have gotten elected the first time.
No, and Hillary would. And Hillary would have been
votes. Yeah.
Yeah. It is not fair.
Ned, could you try not to yell? It's getting really loud.
Okay, I'll put the microphone even further away.
Yeah, no, you do get a bit boisterous. Here, let me see. I should be able to make some adjustments.
I can't change it in any way here. I don't know how.
Talk quieter.
I can't. That's just how I am.
I can here. I will try to dial down Mike's net volume and see if that helps here.
That's my Mach 87 ADHD talking.
Okay, well, see if that helps. I tried to reduce your microphone volume by about 25%.
I'm now a meter from the microphone. Is now okay?
Yeah, we can hear you fine.
Okay.
I'm looking at some of the election results in some of these swing states. We've got really it's only about 1 point difference with most of these, 1-2 point difference between Trump and Harris.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. No president could have gotten rid of the Electoral College alone. It probably would take a constitutional amendment to change that.
Yes, it
does have to because it is part of the Constitution.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, a constitutional amendment, first requires it to be passed by both houses of Congress, and then it has to go as a referendum to the state, and you have to get, I forget if it's 2/3 or 3/4 of the states to approve it.
And it's been tried many times in the past.
Yeah. And it will happen on September 11th.
Yeah. What I am annoyed about is that, Biden, well, I guess it wouldn't have mattered anyway. Could have fixed the Supreme Court temporarily, but then the Republicans would turn around and screw it up again. So,
mm-hmm. By the way, I don't mind if someone tells me I'm talking too loud because I cannot hear myself in the chat. So please tell me when I'm talking too loud.
There are just times
Yeah,
you're enthusiasm. you're passionate, so you become boisterous when you're talking
Yeah.
about some things.
And I'm totally not experienced in live streaming.
Yep.
Yeah, that getting the volume right can take dialing up and down on that for a few streams.
Yeah.
Yeah. I cannot dial down this. I have no idea how to turn this thing down.
Yeah.
Must be possible somewhere, but I cannot find it.
Oh, and if we don't wrap up soon, I'm gonna have to get up and go walk Molly.
Yeah. I suppose we should just wrap up here. Like I said, I've got a bunch of paperwork I have to take care of and get things out in the mail, which has become more urgent because some of these I need to make sure that I get finalized before the new president gets sworn in.
Well, like I said, I don't know if I said it at the beginning, but my condolences.
Yeah, I'm just still stunned. I just couldn't believe that more than half of our population could be this collectively stupid. I knew a third of it was, but I didn't think it could get past half.
Yeah, that's why I think it's what I thought. Yeah, we don't need to vote anymore because the polls are so good. I think it's just pure stupidity of voters.
What, Jenny?
There was one good thing from the election, and that is the Congress of the United States of America has its first transgender congressperson, Sarah McBride out of Delaware.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good. At least we know there's one person in Congress fighting for us.
Yeah, or they will find some way to get rid of her.
Well, the Republicans refused to ban the filibuster, so
well,
they could just get on there and be determined to read the entire Oxford Dictionary.
If they wanted to, if they want to pass what Donnie says he wants to do about trans people, with just criminalize being trans and criminalize treating trans people to anyone in medicine, and put us all in prison. What are they going to do with the trans congresswoman?
Yeah.
Like I said, if you want to leave the country, I have a place for you to go.
Yeah. I don't have the means to get there. I mean, I had to get people from the community to donate just for us to move to a different state. Okay. But anybody have anything they want to plug before we go?
Yeah.
You want to start, Jenny?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, go ahead.
On Friday at 8 o'clock Eastern Time, I'll be on Transpositions with Stephanie Helm and Bree, and I don't use her last name because I haven't gotten permission for that. To do the show, I have no idea what we're going to talk about. It's not my problem. I just got to answer questions, I guess.
Okay.
8 o'clock Eastern Time on YouTube.
Since doing the transposition, Bree has been public about their last name online, so.
Well, I still don't know it. I'm not going to be asking.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I don't think it needs to be mentioned. We all know who we're talking about.
Dad,
do you have anything you want to
say? I think I already said too much, but if I could say, go watch Ivy's channel, get her to be a little bit bigger, because this 300 subs is not much.
And that's Ivy Chan?
Yeah.
Yep.
It's youtube.com at the at thing, and then IV2D.
It's all one word, Ivy Chan.
No, I will type it there. It is like with all these. It's just at IV2D because he is two-dimensional.
Yeah, I was just saying that with the name that they'll see is all one word. But there's the link.
Ivy,
Okay.
there are more Ivy Chans. Oh, thank you.
Yep,
That's
Major's
it.
got it.
Yeah, there are more Ivy Chans.
And for me, we will be doing the midnight viewing tomorrow. I have a new anime for you guys.
Okay. Yep, starting a new series. So anybody who wants to come in, you're not coming in the middle of anything now.
It'll be Keep Your Hands Off of Izoken. It's an anime about making anime.
Oh.
Well, you know what they always say, write what you know. So I guess somebody took that to the literal.
You know what they always say, a band has run out of steam when it starts writing rock and roll about rock and roll.
It was actually a very good series. It starts with these high school little kids, and there's one that wants to get into a club, but she can't get into the anime club, so they form their own club called the Zoken, or Film Club, and that's where they do make their anime that way.
Yep.
I have a few favorite anime series. One is, I don't even if it's just anime or manga. I don't know exactly, but it's
manga is the books, the paper. Anime is the film.
Okay,
basically
and this is Full Metal Alchemist. I really love that because it's so dark.
I've heard a lot of people talk about that one.
I'm currently going through Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood for myself.
Yeah,
and
that's the good one.
I'll be I will showcase that one eventually as soon as I'm.
It is brilliant. And then I have another one that I extremely love because it has a doppelganger of Ivy in it, almost, and that is a certain scientific railgun.
Ah, yes, that's a good one.
You know that what did this Kuroko Shirai? That's the stunt double of Ivy.
Yeah,
she has the same ponytail. She looks the same.
Okay, well, I don't have anything particular going on. I've got a lot of things that are, people have said that they want me on a show, but haven't given me specific dates yet. So we're waiting on those.
Bye, Goth.
But, if anybody wants to participate in the 48-hour Christmas Relay Marathon, you can hit me up on Twitter or on Discord, and I'll, making a list of people starting now, and then we'll start figuring out a schedule. So, just let me know what time slots would work best for you.
If that is Christmas, I cannot be there because I have my two mentally disabled guests, and I have all my time goes into that.
Well, it runs 48 hours to cover Christmas Day everywhere around the world. So, part of it'll be on Christmas Day, and part of it will be before and after Christmas Day where you live.
They arrive a day before Christmas and they leave at New Year's Day. So I have to do them both.
So yeah,
I have them do them both. It's always a party, but it is very intensive work.
Yep, I get you. Okay, so with that, we will bid you all good day.
One more thing.
And
that's it.
Actually,
that's either.
And remember,
that's that instead. That's a little better.
That's
be trans. Hush up. Be trans. Do crime. Don't get caught.
Yeah.
Big on the don't get caught.
Oh.
Especially nowadays.
Yes.
Bye bye all.
Bye bye.
Bye bye. Bye bounds.